Santa Barbara teen sports listeners. I am your host, Erica Calder, the Queen of Teen at KZSB AM 1290. We welcome you all to join us
every single Tuesday
at 9 a.m. right after the news. This is a whole hour of Santa Barbara teen athletes and all the people and all the businesses that support those athletes. That said, we are full again thanks to Joan Calder. How you doing, Joan?
I'm great.
Yeah?
I'm great.
I was shaking. I was like, oh my goodness. Every single person that I thought was coming, I mean, it was some outbreak of some swine flu or something, okay? Because everybody had it. And then I'm like 2.5 hours before the show. I mean, I can't get a hold of you because I know you're busy writing books and doing all that kind of stuff. And then finally you text me, I've got 3. I'm like, yay! Thank you.
I've got friends in high places.
You do!
What can I say?
And then right after that landed, then all of a sudden, Hallie came in, and then she goes, I got a guest. And I'm like, and then all of a sudden, Falk said, I'm coming. Woo! Brian's coming. And then, of course, my coach, Dominique, who said, who's thankfully last weekend said, you know something? Throw that scale. I had Alpha Thrift come, and right on the top, I put my scale. She says, you don't need the scale. That's nice having a health coach that says, get rid of that scale. Yay. Dominique, I love it. This is the best health coach I have ever had. You asking me, you keep on bugging me. Look,
your fingers.
I know.
What happened to your fingers?
I got to say, let's talk about these ads, okay? Got another $350 going to United Boys and Girls Club. Woo! And these businesses are going to be showing up, so I want to let them, turn in the checks, but I took them now because, I like money. Anyway, what I want to do is I've got to give a shout out to another ad that just is going to get created, and it's not up yet, but it's going to get up here in the next day or so. And it is Super Sharp Sharpening Services.
Is that what happened to your fingers?
I know. What idiot does this? This is like the Darwin Award winner for 2014. When you get, I must have had like dead knives or something for like the last 20 years. So I have this guy do all my knives, and of course they're Henkels, okay? And how can you have a dull Henkel? I don't know. The Germans, and I got them back in the 80s, so they're really Henkels because, I was there when I bought them. So that said, I reach in to the bag and just, because you got to touch it, right? And oh my God, I have like no fingerprints left. I mean, these are the sharpest knives. So I want to give a shout out to Super Sharp Sharpening Services, Phil Freeman. His phone number is 451-8773. The sharpest knives. He'll do anything. He'll do an axe, okay? He'll do...
he does scissors.
Scissors. Did you have them done too?
Yes.
You did! Did you cut your finger? No.
No.
Well, scissors. How can you cut your finger? Well, I guess I would touched it. I can't even believe it. This is going to take months. These are like micro tears, too. I don't know what kind of thing he uses, but thank you so much, Phil Freeman. I know you got some stuff to say. You're looking right at me, Brian. Brian, what do you want to say? You got stuff to say. What do you got to say?
I'm just looking at you as a beautiful, healthy young being.
Because you saved me. That's because you did. Okay.
I'm just happy you're alive. You're not doing so good.
I'm going to say it again. I'm not trying to support or like push or whatever. Okay. I am in like the fetal position, like, the worst abdomen pains. I mean, Dominique knows because I was like, I couldn't even talk, right? And I'm like, okay, hospital, I ain't going to go there. Just gut it out. Yeah, that's really stupid because I'm sweating now. So I'm like, okay, what could it be? You're going through the list of possibilities. And I'm thinking, okay, 52, well, that's scary as it is, right? You know what I mean? Because everything falls down when you have that. So anyway, I went to see Brian the next day, saw me like not like an emergency kind of situation. And I'm telling you, I don't know how many needles you stuck me with, 50. Let's just say. I was a pin cushion, okay? But I'm not kidding you. The next day, it was like half the pain, so tolerable. And then, like, within 48 hours, I mean, Brian, I could cry. I mean, I was in so much pain. I don't even know
I'm so happy to hear that.
Yeah, I was in really bad pain. It was like spasms. I don't know what you did, but you did. I was just like, I couldn't
You didn't even talk. That's how I knew you were in such bad pain. You were quiet. I'm like, what's wrong with her? She's not speaking.
It was like it was a gunshot wound from a past life. I don't know what it was, Brian, but you fixed it. So
well, I'm glad to hear that. I'm happy to be here.
My acupuncturist is here. Thank you so much. I don't know what else to say. Joan, you want to say, you're writing another book.
Well, I'm working on it. Yeah, I sure am. But I got to tell you a great activity I did this weekend. I went to see my friend Teresa, and her little 9-year-old boy was running around the room, and then I noticed he was holding her iPad and reading a story, and it was reading my story.
How did you cry?
I did. You know what? And it was
Did you take a picture
my
and put it on
book.
Facebook?
I didn't.
I'm just saying.
I did take a picture, and he looked so cute. But monarchs, airplanes in the garden, monarchs, butterflies, and he was on an iPad. It reads the book for you, and it sings a song. And he was singing this song. He was singing this song over and over and over and over. And
Dr. D did a beautiful job. If anybody wants to listen to the song, and then because he cut it in the 2 times that we talked about your book, it's a beautiful song.
Oh yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Rebecca Troon wrote it and sang it, and so it's on the iPad.
Yeah, it was
for $3.99.
really awesome.
A larva crawls from a tiny egg, munches milkweed leaves all day. She grows and grows, then sheds her skin. Her color's worn of poison within. Oh, fly away, fly, we say. Everybody fly one day. The caterpillar can only crawl, but the butterfly flies away. She stores her fat for a special day, forms herself in the shape of a J, sheds to reveal a chrysalis. It's time for her metamorphosis. So fly away, fly, we say. Everybody fly one day. The caterpillar can only crawl, but the butterfly flies away. Tick tock, 12 days pass. The butterfly comes out at last. She dries her wings, rests in a gum tree, sips flower nectar, oh so sweet. Oh, fly away, fly, we say. Everybody fly one day. The caterpillar can only crawl, but the butterfly flies away. She travels on for many days, finds a mate and lays her eggs. Orange, black, and white, she flashes by, the lovely monarch butterfly. Oh, fly away, fly, we say. Everybody fly one day. The caterpillar can only crawl, but the butterfly flies away. Oh, fly away, fly, we say. Everybody fly one day. The caterpillar can only crawl, but the butterfly flies away.
Hey, we've got a big show. Who do you have today?
Today I have Fairview Gardens here. Kellyanne Campbell.
Whoa.
I have, she brought Cece Osborn and Kimi Yamamoto.
Love them. I'm really excited about that. I know
They're
Dominique
great.
is as well. Okay, Hallie, who'd you bring today?
I brought my basketball coach. He's the JV coach at DP, but he's also my club coach.
Nice.
Yes.
You're all duded out. Like, you're making him think that you, ran here or what?
I know. No.
Jogging.
He actually wasn't at 6th period practice, and we ran, so.
All right. That's all right.
She's
all right,
not
cool.
sweating.
Nice. All right, let's
I
take
went
a
home and
break. It's
showered.
go time. This is Erica Salter, the Queen of Teen. We will be back with more after these messages. We are back, and this is the Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica Salter, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
Every single Tuesday.
9 a.m. right after the news. I am. What a beautiful crew that just stepped on in. These are lovely ladies. Joan, let's go.
Lovely
Let's go.
ladies.
Yes.
Lovely ladies. I'm going to start with Kelly. Kelly from Fairview Gardens. I read this information about the Fairview Gardens, and it said the land has been farmed since 1895, and it was farmed organically before the term organic was coined. Tell me about that.
That's true. So we are an educational nonprofit farm in the heart of Goleta, and we've been an organic farm since 1970s. We're one of the earliest organic farms in California.
Nice.
I know I've been there and have taken a tour. I've been to a class there. I bought vegetables at the vegetable stand, and I know you're doing a whole bunch with kids. Tell me about your programs with kids.
Oh, we have lots of programs with kids. We have summer camps running all summer long, and that serves ages 3 to 11. The kids are running around the farm, climbing trees, making food from harvesting vegetables from the garden, doing arts and crafts, lots of great stuff. And then we also have after-school programs year-round at our farm, and they do a lot of similar activities. It's a really special program because the kids are there for 12 weeks in a row and really develop a relationship with the land and can make a significant impact on how we run things. They take an active role in doing chores with the animals and with the farm, and it's a really special program.
Do the little kids get to eat some of the vegetables while they're there? Or?
Absolutely. Yeah, we do a lot of harvesting from the land. The kids make salsa. They make pizza in the cob ovens that we have. They harvest carrots and have lots of farm fresh snacks while they're there.
I saw about your cob ovens. Can you explain what a cob oven is?
Yeah, so cob is a building material, and it's made by combining straw and clay and sometimes a little bit of sand. And it's a sustainable building material that's used to make lots of things. And yes, it is used to make cob ovens, but people also build houses with it or use it for other buildings. It's been used for centuries historically in Europe and in other places. And it's a pretty phenomenal building material, and it insulates really well. It stays very cool in warm climates and stays warm in cool climates.
That sounds great. You're having a class on that too, aren't you?
We are. We have a whole adult homesteading series this fall, and we have everything from sourdough making to tomato canning to backyard chickens. And yes, we have several 2 to 4 day intensive classes, and one of them is a cob oven building class. We also have a turn shoe making class if you want to learn how to make your shoes, your own shoes.
I grew up on a farm and we had chickens. Tell me about your chickens. What do you teach the people about your chickens?
Oh, we have such great chickens on our farm. We have several varieties of chickens, which is really fun because it means we have lots of colors of eggs, because depending on the variety of chicken, they lay different colored eggs. And they're very socialized chickens. They play with children and toddlers all summer long and get very used to people, and they're a fun bunch of chickens that make a racket, and they roam around. They're definitely free-range chickens and do lots of foraging out in the orchard and have a really stable diet.
I've got to ask you a question. I bought a dozen eggs. They weren't organic, of course, but they were eggs, and I had one was cracked a little bit, so I thought I'd put it out for the birds. And I thought surely a bird, even a crow maybe, would have come and grabbed it up. That thing was sitting there for 2 days, and nobody wanted it. And I thought, should I eat that egg?
Right. Maybe those birds have standards.
Maybe they have standards, and I better start buying only organic eggs.
Yeah, you should do the same experiment with one of our eggs and see what happens.
I'll eat that egg.
How does the animals fit into like the cyclical regeneration of the farm? How are they incorporated into the mix?
So you're asking their ecological purpose on the farm. So right now there isn't a lot of integration, to be honest with you. Our chickens are free range, but they are kept in their own paddock, separate from the farm. Yeah. So we are not really doing a lot of integrated.
Like, does their feces or manure get composted with the soil now?
However, we do have some of their paddocks extend into our citrus orchard. So in that way, they are fertilizing our citrus orchard.
Nice.
I have a question. I remember like 5 years ago going with my school. Do you guys still do field trips for like grade schools?
We do. We have lots of school groups that come for tours all year long. And sometimes they're 3 to 5 year olds, and sometimes they're high school kids. We even had UCSB out last week for a tour. That was really great. So it's really for everyone. Sometimes we have adult tours, and it's really fun. The kids show up and they learn a little bit about the farm, and then they play with the chickens and check out the goats. And usually we harvest carrots, and they get to enjoy the snack and then learn a little bit about composting when they harvest their carrot top. And
great. You brought 2 guests today, so can you tell me what they do?
Yeah, so I brought with me Kimi and Cece.
Kimi and Cece, put your hands together. We love the volunteers. That's right. We're nothing without our volunteers.
And they are education apprentices on the farm.
Yes. What does education apprentice mean?
So my name is Cece. Kimi and I help out with the summer farm camp and the after-school programs because we're education apprentices. But we also spend half our time in the field learning how to farm.
Nice. So what grade? Why don't you say? Sorry, didn't mean to fall on you. What grades are you in, and where do you go to school?
I'm Kimi, and I actually just graduated from Cal Poly in San Luis Obispo. Yeah. I studied animal science with a concentration in biology.
And how did you find this program? How did you hear about it?
Yeah, that's a really interesting question. I really wanted to get involved in sustainable agriculture. I grew up in Santa Paula, California, in Ventura County, and I was involved in their agriculture program in high school, so that's why I went on to Cal Poly with an agriculture major. And I really wanted to get a hands-on experience after college and really learn about sustainability in agriculture. So I just went on the World Wide Web one day, and I typed in sustainable agriculture internships, kind of in the area because I specifically wanted to learn about this environment. And the first thing that popped up was Fairview Farms in Goleta and sounded perfect. So, yeah, I applied for the program, and it's been wonderful.
What was the funnest thing you've learned so far?
Oh, the best thing I've learned so far. I think one of my favorite things that we did was the summer camp. It was really great getting to get involved with teaching kids about where their food comes from. I remember asking them, what's in your lunch? And then we would walk around the farm and they would point out things from the farm that they could find in their lunch. So it's really good seeing that energy from the younger generation and teaching them about the importance of food and knowing where it comes from.
Hey, fantastic. Hey, Cece, Kimi, and Kelly, we've got a lot more. I want you to stick around for another section. Okay, but we got to take a break. We got the Smush the Sign over here by Dr. D. It says it's go time. This is Erica Calder, the Queen of Teen. We will be back with Fairview Gardens after these messages. We are back, and this is the Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica Calder, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in every single Tuesday at 9 a.m. right after the news. And I'm spacing out here. Where else are we, Coach Dominique?
We are on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube.
Yes.
I got to check out the YouTube.
Okay.
And the internet at teensportsradio.com.
Woo! So bad.
Is MySpace still around?
Yeah. It's so bad it's good.
I don't think anybody...
That was in perfect disharmony.
That was definitely in disharmony. Hallie, you had a question.
Yeah, I had a question. I was just wondering, as a high school student, how would I get involved in your program?
Oh, Hallie, we're always looking for good high school students to get involved on the farm, and there's so many ways to get involved. You can volunteer with our children's programs, so you can just hop on board with summer camp and help make the summer a special, amazing experience for youngsters and help with arts and crafts and harvesting and cooking food with them over the summer. And then the same thing with after school program. We're looking for teens to get involved. And it's nice because during the school year, I know you guys are busy with school, and it's a pretty low commitment. It's only a couple hours, one afternoon a week. And it still keeps you connected to the farm and to the great things that are happening there.
Right. You know, you might want to practice or copy the Challenger model where they invite the teams out. And we're so blessed because the next section, we'll be able to ask him in person, because guess who we're going to be bringing out? The girls' varsity DP basketball team. Woo! And maybe we can get his whole team out there. The first, it would be the first team, right?
Absolutely. It'll be our workout.
That would be the first team. Well, think about it. Team building.
Yeah.
Look at those upper muscles. The hoeing, the raking.
Farming needs like weight day.
Yeah, no, I'm serious. I can't wait till he comes in the next section and we're going to
plow pulling.
Well, I just, I've heard through the community that he's a visionary. You know what I mean? And I think he's going to want to be the first person to go out. And I think what Teen Sports Radio will do, I think we're going to make up some special T-shirts, just to compliment, the first team ever to do that. And then it'll roll. Then all you got to do is call Bishop up and just say DP did it. And then they'll be all over it because, they got God on their side, right? You know what I mean? So then once that falls, okay, then you call Abe Jahadami, okay, with San Marcos. And then Joe Chenoweth. Just tell Joe if you want to be Abe, okay, then you go Tuesday because Abe's going to come Wednesday, and Santa Barbara High School has to be, they're the powerhouse school. You feel? Can you you see it? I just see all the schools out
What are
there.
you talking about?
Yeah?
We're totally lost now.
I'm talking about free labor.
Okay.
I'm talking about paying less for my tomatoes. That's it.
Go work on the farm. Get some tomatoes.
I know, really. I go over the fence at night. Oh, who said that? No! That's what I do. No, I don't have to do that because I have an organic garden in my backyard.
Yes.
No, I do, right?
Yes.
Please tell them I have an organic garden so people don't look at me and all surveillance out there, dogs, woof, woof, woof.
Not only do you have an organic garden, but we're also experimenting with the tower gardens. We're doing the aeroponics and hydroponics.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah. So I was wondering, it's the end of September. What are you growing right now?
We are, oh my gosh. Do you guys want to answer that? You're on the farm.
Yeah.
On the farm a little more than I am.
All right.
We've got carrots.
We got carrots.
We have onions.
Pumpkins.
Yum.
Strawberries are still coming in.
Okay.
What color are the carrots?
Orange.
Okay, because I heard on another program on this station, that carrots were originally purple. Their original color was purple, but they've been genetically altered, as most of the foods we've eaten, and this is long before Monsanto, so don't go crazy. No, they were originally purple.
It's funny you bring this up. I just heard on NPR this weekend that there are different strains of carrots that are different colors. I don't know if one preceded the other strain, but that the orange ones were selected over and over again for the orange royal family somewhere in Europe. And
in the Netherlands.
In the Netherlands, right. And so they survived and have become the predominant carrot of choice.
Wow.
Aye, just like Lucky Charms.
I know there's a whole bunch of information on your website. What is your website?
Good question.
So our website is fairviewgardens.org. And yeah, you can learn lots more about our children's programs, our adult homesteading classes, our apprenticeship program for young adults, and yeah, lots of good info there, as well as get in touch with us if you're interested in volunteering.
Okay, and what about a phone number? Your phone number?
The website is really the best way to get in touch with us, yeah.
Right.
They're on the farm. They're working. Nobody better be on the phone.
Nobody's answering the phone.
However, if you're interested in volunteering, you can email us at education@fairviewgardens.org.
Perfect. And you have a beautiful book published that talks about your gardens.
Wow. What's the name of it?
It's just Fairview Gardens. I remember
So there were
reading
several books written by Michael Abelman. On Good Land is probably the one that you're thinking of, and that was written specifically about Fairview Gardens. And Michael Abelman was a farm manager in the 80s at Fairview Gardens, and sort of gave Fairview Gardens worldwide recognition through writing his books.
Is it true that the name, when the gentleman that was here last time, and I guess the owner, she looked out on the land and she thought it was a Fairview, and that's where it came from? Is that true?
That's a true story.
Yeah. See, I remember little bits and pieces. In
1985, the Hollister family bought Fairview Gardens, and Miss Hollister walked out onto her porch of the farmhouse and said, "'Tis a fair view," and the name stuck ever since.
Nice.
She was actually talking about the mountains, too. People tend to think that people are talking about the fair view of the ocean in Santa Barbara, but you can't see the ocean from the farm. It was a beautiful sunset on the mountains, and you can see that in our logo.
Nice. Beautiful. Joan.
Okay, what about the documentary film, Beyond Organic, The Vision of Fairview Gardens? Can we see that anywhere? Do you know where that documentary might be found? No. We'll have to look it up, and we'll tell you next week.
That's it. That would be awesome. Brian, you had a question?
I do. Yes. So what about teachers that are wanting to also volunteer? You guys have open classes and other availabilities for people interested in offering different teaching classes?
Yeah, so if you have a skill that you want to teach the community about, you can certainly get in touch with us. We're always looking for more instructors for our adult homesteading series.
I just had a couple ideas, like teaching food, cooking, medicine, using food as medicine, or doing like an herbal teaching class, something like that. You guys offer?
Yeah, we would definitely be open to that, and I would really encourage those people to get in touch with us.
Okay.
Nice. I could
I'm
see
interested.
Brian and Dominique, a combo.
We're interested. Let's do it.
like that.
Great. That sounds
Why
good.
not? Yes, good. Thanks.
Definitely.
And something that's really important right now is I see they have a homesteading class, and it's called Gardening Vegetables in Dry Land Climates. I think
What's dry land climates here?
Really?
So this was a response to the drought that we've been experiencing really over the last few years, but especially this year. And it's a class to teach people strategies for gardening in dry land climates, and we have become a dry land. And there's a lot of interesting topics that are going to be covered, including sunken gardens and using hugelkulturs and other things to build soil health that holds better moisture. So yeah, it's a great class. There's a lot more information about it online, and please check it out.
Nice. Cool.
That's also good. That is absolutely also good. I will have to sign up for one of these classes real quick. Let me see. What else would you like to add of some of your experiences?
Tell me one of the funniest stories you have of being on the farm.
That's a good one.
Oh my gosh. So I was harvesting carrots with some 4-year-olds, about 30 4-year-olds on the farm a couple months ago, and everyone was really excited. They picked out the carrot tops. They figured out where the carrots were growing, and I asked for a couple volunteers, and they were helping me fork the carrots out of the soil. And as soon as the carrots burst out of the soil and the bright orange carrots showed their skin, one of the kids got really upset and ran over and was like, "These carrots are filthy. These carrots are in the dirt." And it was shocking. It was shocking.
Oh,
It was like,
so cute.
oh my gosh, it was the disconnect of these carrots have grown in the ground and they're dirty because they've been growing in the soil.
That just says the importance. And Joan, you brought this up many and many times before. You know, when kids, it saddens me when they think that the vegetables comes from Vaughn's or Albertsons or wherever, and they don't really know where they come from.
Right.
You know, it's just the littlest things.
A few years ago, I had some UCSB students, and they were pulling vegetables in my garden. It was the first time they've ever pulled out a beet and a carrot in here. They were 20 years old.
There you go. Hey, it is go time, but I want to thank Fairview Gardens for being here today. Put your hands together for Fairview Gardens. There you go. It's really, we have to support our local farmers. So, hey, if you're a teen athlete or a teen or a senior citizen and you want to give some support, go out and visit Fairview Gardens. We're going to be with you all after these messages, and Andy Casanueva will be with us, basketball coach, DP Varsity Girls Basketball. Stay tuned for more after these messages. We are back, and this is the Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica Solda, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday,
9 a.m., right after the news. And Hallie, where else are we?
Oh, wow, I wasn't prepared.
That's right.
We are on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and we're on the internet at teensportsradio.com.
That's it. That was big energy right there. So speaking of big energy, so who did you bring today?
I brought the JV coach at Dos Pueblos, as well as the assistant coach for varsity, and my club basketball coach, Andy Casanueva.
Nice. Woo! You nailed his last name. That's why I threw it over to you.
Thank you.
That was awesome. Good job.
What's the name you always, there's some...
No, I'm not going to. Let's not do that.
No. You need to work on it.
What?
What's the name? I don't know. Ramirez.
Ramirez.
Yeah.
No. Listen, I was 21 years old. Okay, from New York. I'm sorry, we don't have that language.
No judgments.
Where I came from.
You hadn't been in California very long.
Not long. Okay, at all. So, Andy, thank you so much for being here today. Let's talk about yourself. And I know I see right here you've got a construction company, so that's exciting.
Yeah, I'm a contractor here in town. I have lived in Santa Barbara since 1982. After having lived in South America, in Chile with my father. After graduating from high school, I spent 2 years there and played professionally there, and then decided to come back and try to go back to school, but did that for a little bit. But then I had to work and get a job, and
How did you end up becoming a coach?
I ended up becoming a coach. I kind of have been a lifelong basketball fanatic as a player, self-motivated. I kind of learned the game on my own. I had some good teachers and other players that I met along the way in my journey, and I just never really lost a love for the game. The game gave me a lot. It taught me a lot about self-discipline and self-motivation, and just really how to kind of get ahead in your own way.
And if you need to know anything about Andy, it's dedication. We have 6 a.m. practice tomorrow, and it's like when not just me, but the entire team will be like, oh, it's so hot. His words are, suck it up. And his words are, nobody's going to give it to you. So I've learned a lot. Our entire team has learned a lot. Been playing...
We've been together for like 4 years.
4 years? Yeah. But it feels like longer than that.
It's pretty cool at 6 a.m. You can't complain about the heat. I think that's a wonderful thing.
We haven't had 6 a.m. yet, so tomorrow's the first day.
It'll be cool. It'll be cool.
It's going to be interesting.
It's a challenge for the varsity. They haven't had 6 a.m. I've had 6 a.m. with the JV for a couple of years already.
Right.
Sounds like you love coaching a lot. What's some of the challenges of being a coach, though?
I think really, I don't find there any really challenges. It's for me, it's so gratifying to be able to give back something that has given me so much. So it really, for me, it's just, being at the school, I always, when I am able to go there, I always call it the best part of my day. So being able to just give back to the community, it really is what it, for me, is what it comes down to. So I don't really find it a challenge. It's just what that day presents for you. So nice. Kids are unique that way because you never know what that day is going to bring. So it's always different.
Nice and refreshing to hear that. I get a lot of coaches who can be a little grumpy sometimes and not always enjoy their work, but that's nice to hear.
Yeah, well, I think it's challenging sometimes if from a coaching standpoint, sometimes you get wrapped up in winning, and winning is good, and I mean, it's cool and it's fun to win. It's easier to win than to lose. But I do agree that losing teaches you a lot more. So if you can kind of build on those things, and that makes that makes the whole journey a lot more interesting and better.
Well said.
So how was it playing semi-pro in? Did you play in Chile? You did?
I played in Chile.
Yeah.
It was a great experience for me because I did not play a lot in high school. I played very little actually, and then to go on afterwards, my game really got better. I really worked hard at it after high school, and I went to Chile kind of just to get away after high school, and somebody knew that I'd played, and I kept kind of working on my game, and it was very gratifying. It was a great experience. It really was a tremendous experience.
Mm-hmm. Very nice. You always tell stories, and he always has like something that he relates to what happened in his past, and so like he'll always say, because I know that I struggled when I was I think it was last year or the year before, and I struggled the entire season, and you would bring up the part where you didn't even play in high school, and I just kind of sat there and I'm like, okay, well, I just need to suck it up, and it's gonna get better. But yeah.
Well, I think some of the wisdom or whatever I can impart in being of the age that I am is that a lot of stuff was not given to me, so I had to really earn it. So I think for me, coaching is about what can I impart that maybe will help you out. And every kid has different set of circumstances and backgrounds that they come from. So I've experienced quite a few different things. I've lived outside of the country, so I can feel like I can always impart some story or anecdote that might apply to the situation and help kids. I always call it coaching for self-realization and for them to understand it, not for me to don't do it for me, do it for yourself.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
What position do you think kids enjoy playing the most?
I think I think kids typically they enjoy probably playing what's called a shooting guard or the 2 spot because it's kind of what you see on TV and what gets probably glamorized. If you talk about Michael Jordan, he played the shooting guard. Currently in the WNBA, there's a very good player named Maya Moore who plays the shooting guard. So I think it's very, usually the person that scores the most and gets the offense runs through that person. So it's really, I think that position gets glamorized a lot, but there's a lot of work that gets done that you got to take in consideration that someone's got to rebound, someone's got to bring the ball up and run the offense and stuff. So and the game has changed, so it depending on what your personnel is, it can be different.
How's it going with the recruit of the kids coming out for sports, not only just in basketball, but also in general? Because I was reading a lot about the brain and about how important sports is for academics, and that physical activity literally makes you smarter. And I was just curious whether you have a good amount of kids coming out for the teams.
I haven't associated it that way. I mean, I'm going to take your information from what you're saying. It was beneficial in my case. I think for kids today, or even for myself growing up, the discipline of doing a sport and having to participate and having to interact also with other players and coaches, it kind of prepares you a lot for what happens in the real world. So for me, that's a positive, but more I can kind of answer that more towards girls basketball and why we kind of started our little club program. When my daughter was in 6th grade, or there was at the Page Center where they have, kind of pickup like a league. Her class was basically the last class of 7th, 8th graders. When she got to 7th, 8th grade, they had players coming out. And after that, there was like no more girls coming out to do girls basketball. So we kind of saw it as, we going to let girls basketball die in Santa Barbara County, or are we going to, try to create some kind of environment where we can play and develop players? So to me, it became more of that mission and getting, obviously it has my daughters involved, but to try to have sports or be available. Santa Barbara is very water polo and volleyball centric. So
yeah, our club team has grown from, we started with like 6-7 players, and now there's like 40 or 50 girls that are playing right now.
Great. That's nice. When kids feel safe and they have a place to go, and there's leadership there, that's really all that matters right now. But what we got to do is we're going to take a little short break, Coach Andy, but we've got more. So everybody stay tuned. This is Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. We'll be back with more after these messages. We are back, and this is a Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday
at 9 a.m. right after the news. All right, let's see. All right.
I'm grabbing the mic.
Okay, you do.
I have something I want to add this morning. This is Dominique.
Okay.
I wanted to talk to you about, this is morning, we're all eating breakfast and so forth. I read a fascinating article about the brain, about how much the brain is made up of fat. And that this is the reason why, if we don't have fat in our meal, our brain literally is telling our body, hey, you need to eat more because you haven't given me what I need in order to function. So I tell some of the people that I coach, have avocado, have, when you're eating during the day, make sure you're getting those good, healthy fats in so that your brain's really happy. I mean, the other thing about the brain is we're talking about 100 billion neurons. We're talking about, for each neuron is connected to at least 10,000 other neurons. So the most complicated machine in the universe is literally sitting on top of your shoulders. So if you want to take care of this most complicated machine, you want to make sure you're eating well.
No wonder I was smiling so much this week. I had avocados and chocolate.
Nice.
And that's my two favorite.
It's medicine right there.
Absolutely.
Medicine, yes.
Makes me happy.
Throw in a little coconut and you're all set.
I did. I put coconut oil in my hair.
There you
Can
go.
you
I could tell. Yeah, it's
Isn't
all
it
shiny. God.
Naturally curly.
The coconut oil will infuse through your scalp and your brain.
Yeah, my happy brain. Great.
I love it. Well, earlier we were talking about Fairview Gardens and about bringing the team over to the gardens and getting a little workout. But at the same time, when you take the kids over there, you can also talk to them about the importance of eating good food.
Yeah, absolutely. It's much more important, and we do talk about it more now than we have in the past. Especially sometimes we'll play tournaments where we end up having to play 3 games in one day, and so it gets very taxing. So hydration, nutrition, it's becoming a much bigger issue, and we do discuss it. Obviously, in this country, things have kind of changed.
Of course, the challenge is cooking, because we tend to eat out a lot just based off of convenience, right? So even if you grow all this nice food, how do you make the time to actually cook? Who's going to do that, and how to prepare for that? So that's another issue. You grow your own food, but then are you going to be able to cook it or not? When you're on tournaments and so forth, out playing at another school, what do? You go to the fast food place, right? Get some Taco Bell real quick. It's easy.
Yeah, well, the whole trick with eating food is making it fun. So whatever you're doing, whenever you're relating to food, you want it to be fun and easy and enjoyable and really tasty. Because when it's really tasty, it increases your digestion and you're actually getting the nutrition out of the food.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Well, I would be excited to do a workout at Fairview Gardens, so change things up.
Yeah, right, huh?
I'm proposing that now.
I can tell.
Oh, we happen to have their website, Coach Andy, Kelly at fairviewgardens.org, and I'm sure she'd love to hear from you. I think that's fantastic.
We can run there.
Writing it down right now.
We can run there.
Oh, there you go.
That's far. I don't know if I should have suggested that.
You know what? You said.
I mean, honestly, I'm good with doing it. I don't know about everybody else.
Pull some carrots and run back.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
We get the hoe out and some shovels and start digging it.
Or they have them put up a basketball hoop and you can play up there and then eat some food afterwards. And
in the
throw
dirt.
some stuff in the cob oven.
Yeah, right in the dirt. Anyway, so Andy, you said why you got into coaching at girls basketball. Why did you get into coaching at DP?
I got into coaching at DP because the principal at DP is a good friend of mine, and she called me and she asked me because there just wasn't very many people left, so I kind of got the job by default in a way. But it shows the need in the community for having people to volunteer. I'd say it's a little bit more challenging in girls sports. But there's always a need. There's a need not only at DP. There's a need at San Marcos. So if people can or have the time, it's not even how much you know about X's and O's. It's really about being able to communicate with the kids. And it's like I said, it's very, very rewarding. It really is a lot of fun.
I have a question for you, Andy, real quick. So you've been coaching girls. I know obviously you've been played semi-pro ball and you've been affiliated with a lot of men's groups. So if you had a choice, if I said, okay, this job, forget your daughter, because of course you want to be with your daughter. Okay, kids are grown, gone. Okay, so then you have two choices, two teams. Any school you want, boys basketball, girls basketball, and you could pick which varsity, okay? And they both have undefeated, the greatest stacked teams. Okay, so everything's the same except for the gender. Which would you pick?
No, I do girls at this point. I've kind of asked myself that question on a number of occasions already. So it's a different game. So I without hesitation.
Okay, so let's dig into that.
Because the women's game is a much more fundamental game. So the strategy, coaching wise, is a lot more interesting. Whereas in the guys' game, it's a very athletic. So you can isolate if you have players that can jump extremely well or are extremely gifted. You can create kind of one-on-one situations. That doesn't come very often in the women's game. I mean, there is a player in Santa Barbara who's very, very good, Amber Mogoza. And maybe I'm sure in Santa Barbara they run plays that are just specifically for her, but in general you don't see that very often. So it's it just doesn't happen that much. So there's a much more equal playing field. So on a coaching level, strategically, it's kind of more challenging and interesting that way. And at this point, I coach my sons who are older. So at this point, I've kind of I've gotten used to being around the girls and the way that they are and kind of understand that. Guys are, it's always about, how much can I bench press and I'm squatting and stuff. And with girls, it's a little bit more interesting and varied.
All right. We've got a couple of minutes. So what do you guys got? Any predictions for this year's season?
I think we're going to be better than we were last year. We have a great great group of kids. It's a great group to be around, which really, like I said, is what I enjoy the most. So I'm really looking forward to the whole season. We have a great group of freshmen that have come in, and I think my whole starting five for my JV team is going to be freshmen. So that's always bodes well for the future and the development of the program. So that's really what I want to do is make sure we have a really good program for girls at DP.
Yeah. Well, Andy, let's put our hands together for Andy. I tell you, you are right. I mean, and it's hard to come by. And anybody out there that has some free time, don't be shy. Go out there because our youth needs us, and there's just a lot of experience out. It gives you something to do. The payback is absolutely unbelievable. So again, Coach Andy, thank you. DP High School JV and Varsity Girls Basketball, thank you for being here today. We also we're blessed enough to have Kelly, Kimi, and Cece all from Fairview Gardens. And I want to thank my co-hosts. We've got Coach Dominique. We've got Hallie. We've got Joan Calder. And, of course, my savior. Okay, Brian Falk. This is Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. Thank you, Santa Barbara. God bless you all. See you next week.
Please tune in and join us next Tuesday at KZSB AM 1290 at 9:06 a.m. when we will go behind the scenes with the local students, athletes, coaches, parents, volunteers, and all other teen sports supporters. This is all brought to you by ePro Insurance Agency, leader in gift planning and wealth preservation since 1983. So please follow along and support our student athletes by reading the Santa Barbara News Press, and then join me, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen, Dr. Dugan, my co-host, friends, teens, every week on the Santa Barbara News Press radio station.
You're the best around.